Okay, family. So I wanted to do a real quick on which is which. Let me. So which is which? It's basically saying for mystics, we're all witches, right? You know, you be leaving the house without some stuff sometime. Got my lashes on, but I didn't have no lip gloss on. I have to go for a ride. And so, for mystics and those who kind of put together science and religion, we merge the two, science and religion, and we come out with what works for us, which is, spirituality. For mystics and mysticism goes deeper than what most people are used to. And because they're not used to it and they don't know, it's a place that not many have dared to go. And if you did go further than Christianity, you were labeled a witch. And so the thing is needing to understand which is which. My previous video about my journey from Christianity to spirituality is kind of giving you the roots of how I started my journey. The roots of how I started my journey is simply being led by the Most High. And so because people don't know my connection with the Most High, because they don't understand that connection to the Most High, they do not understand that when I said, let me make this light. And then, slow down. All right, and now I'm at the water, just like that. That's from home to start. That's how quick I am, close to the beach, but it's not close enough. So, the thing is now they don't understand. People do not grasp. Let me just show y'all. The beach is just this close. Somebody's getting their house built. Yeah, look at that. What happens is people don't grasp, they don't understand that at the end of the day, Christianity, Christians, witches were Christians. Witches most likely started out in, being Catholic, because I can't say that other ism, Catholicism. I can't get that, pronounce that, Catholicism. There it is, Catholicism. And so they started out in some form of religion, and what has taken place is they decided that, you know what, I want more of this because it is good. Christianity is good. It is good, boy. It tastes real good at first. It's just at some point, at what point do you keep going and just decide that I'm not going to stop until I am satisfied? And then how long do you really stay satisfied before you decide to even go even further, further. And so that's what it is for us. For us, it's basically saying that I can't get enough of this. I don't have enough. I want more. I'm going to keep going. I'm not okay with what it is you're saying to me. And then when you tell a person don't go beyond this means, and the Most High take them beyond that limitation and that border that you set, then you have mysticism and mystics and witches, and those who are stepping into their divinity, and they're beginning to mimic the things of the Most High. They begin to use gifts and talents and powers that we don't understand why these people are operating at this level. They must be a witch. A witch is simply one who has been more divinely connected to the Most High than the average amount of people have. Oh, it feels good over here. I can stay over here. Oh, my goodness. And so that's what being a witch is. A witch is basically someone who has stepped into their divinity. They're beginning to see that, you know what, it's not just about reading the Bible. It's going beyond the Bible and taking that stuff off the pages of the Bible and living that stuff for real. And so I think in the past, man has desired for us to read the Bible and to know the Bible, but they don't desire the way that religion was set up. It doesn't desire for you to work that thing, to really get to understand and use it in a way that it moves you beyond all borders and all previous limitations. And so there is a need to break the glass ceiling and go further in Christianity. But Christianity is basically a religion that says, stop here. Don't go any further. Don't go any further than your leader. Don't go any further to the degree that you don't need to be led. That's pretty much basically what they're saying. We don't want you to go that far. Okay? So that's what that is all about. And I think I'm gonna go up to Sandy Hook. Let me see if I have my my permit. Where's my permit? And so that's why you need to know which is which, because what I have experienced over the last couple of years is this. I was labeled a witch by a certain group of people who thought that because I was a witch that they were ordained by God to tear me down. But it's not. You need to understand that being a witch is someone who ranks high in the realm of the spirit. This is what they don't want you to know, but I promise you, people, do the research on where did witches originate. And as you go, your common sense will link in and say that, you know what, this is true. Witches were just people who were more spiritual. And because they could not explain, because a man could not explain how they had reached to this capacity, they just automatically deemed them witches. And this is why you have it that anything spooky, anything beyond previous set limitations that man was used to is now ordained, is now considered to be a witch. And so that's how you get witches. But now you don't get witches from, you do have both witches. You have those who are spiritual, those who are divinely connected to source, and those who are simply, they are not connected to source. They are not connected to source. And if you are not connected to source, okay, so if you're not connected to source, are you still a witch? You're a different kind of witch. And this is why I say which witch is which. Because the witch that just studies potions, spells, Book of Shadows, those types of witches are a tad bit different. They're a tad bit different in the way that they choose to study. They choose to go about things or whatever. And so it does not necessarily mean that they are wrong. It just means that they're different in how they approach things and how they do things. And so for that sake, we don't want to say what's right and what's wrong. We just want to say what they choose to do in their intentions. And we know this. Most Christians know this. Like, well, most people know that most of the time it's the non-Christians. Anyone, just because people are atheists or something does not necessarily mean they are wicked or wrong. They're not wicked or wrong. I've seen more wicked people profess to be religious and Christians than I've seen atheists, people who were just much generous and more giving, more forgiving, more loving, more kind than some of the Christians that I have encountered. So, and it's just of course, that's nothing. There's no standards there when we're talking about that. It's just absolutely none. So, people choose of all cultures, races, creeds, religions, ethnicities, whatever, choose to be who they want to be, and it does not say any particular type of people or particular way. So, so basically, just understanding that which is which. Witches that generate, witches that originate from Christianity are not necessarily all white witches or black witches. It's always the motive and the intent in which you're doing something. So I can say it like this: the prophet that prophesies over you with the intention to edify, what do they call that? Exhort. What is that? I forget that, but that's a good thing, to build you up in your most holy man. That prophet that desires to prophesy to build you up in your most holy man, certainly intentions are good. Now, the prophet that seeks to use his gift to tear you down, the apostle, the prophet, the evangelist, the pastor, the teacher, whatever, that use their gifts to tear you down are still acting under the pretense of a black witch, of a dark witch, only because they're reason for doing it. So do you have black witches or warlocks in the church professing to be apostles and prophets? You absolutely do, because it's a motive and the intent. If a prophet can look at me and determine whether or not I have a set amount of money to get into his line, is using his gift illegally. A prophet that wants to prophesy to me just to get money is using his gift as a warlock. That's being a warlock. The intention on doing it. And so it's rare that humanity, we can determine a person's motive and their intents, because even man most of the time cannot truly identify his motives and his intents on why he's doing something. But the Most High judges, and then the Most High can also announce and declare and decree and reveal motives and intents and hearts of the man. So the Most High is able to determine why you do anything. Now, whatever the Most High knows, and he is all-knowing, he can also reveal to his servants, he called the prophets, to see, to reveal, to expose, to warn, to all of that. He can do that because he's the Most High. He can do what he want to do, when he want to do it, how he want to do it. That's his business, And so I'm saying all this to say that it does not matter if you're a witch or warlock or psychic or medium or whatever. The gifts that you have are your gifts, and they're for your good, to be used for the good of all of humanity. The only thing is this: are you using it for the good of all of humanity, or are you using it to advance your agenda, your personal agenda, to get rich off of it? And then again, the gifts can be used to help us, but we don't turn people down, we don't deny people in that instance, because of this. You know, you don't just stop at. So the thing is this, do your research so you can know which witch is which, because there are witches amongst you. There are witches in every church. Every church has a witch. Because it's just clearly someone who is more spiritually apt than all of the others around them. They've gone further. That's all it means, is they're more divinely connected to the Most High. There is a witch probably and a warlock in every church. And sometimes a lot of leaders are masking though that in themselves. So, you know, a lot of leaders, because the thing is, it's mostly leaders, because who leads with those who have gone further than other people, and they want to bring people along the way. And so that's what a leader is really called to do and chosen. So I just want to warn you when you come up against these witches nowadays, because now it's like certain cliques and groups and churches and ministries assume that they can take down a witch, but it is not your job to take down nobody. You damn near don't even take down a armed gunman that come in with a regular gun. You don't even, you can't take him down. Don't take down. Just because you can see his weapon don't mean, you know, it's nothing, you know. So, don't worry about what other people are doing. You just stay on the right side of the road. Stay in your lane and do what it is you were called and created to do. And don't worry about other people. No one has ever approached me and said, let me see. No one's approached you face to face. Many have recognized and noticed it and preached it from a pulpit or something of that way. They said it, you know, passively from the pulpit or something. I had way back a school of the prophets said, be careful, because some of y'all are you want to cross a thin line. She said there's a thin line between well, wait a second. She says you're crossing the line, or you going something about the line between being a white witch and a black witch, or Christianity and being a white witch. So this is the thing, and it's all about evolution. And this is why I say to you, we must evolve. If God cannot do anything on the earth unless He do it through a man, what man is going to assume the Most High's power to fall upon him to do what it is he's being called and created to do, without being labeled as what? Too powerful? Oh, it's kind of chilly over here now. The further I go up, it's the further north I go, it's getting chilly. Yeah. And so that's the thing, is, you know, you're worried about people saying you're moving beyond the boundaries, you're going beyond the boundaries, you've crossed over into this. Let me tell you something about what I have just learned about being a white witch. You got to go into the darkness sometimes. And this is what they say. Remember in the church, they say, oh, you got to go into the crack houses sometimes to pull out your family members and to pull out people and stuff. And that is absolutely true. So sometimes you have to go into the underworld. You have to go into the darkness to pull out, pull people out of the darkness. And so the thing is to not remain in the darkness. And even so, we know that most of this is born out of the darkness. Most of who we are called and created to do and be have been born out of the darkness. It's because we have been in a low place. You had to fight. You had to go through some stuff, and that's where you get get your hold on things. That's where you come to it, in that place. And so we can't refuse to go into it. And remember, I said there are some people who say, I don't know why Whitney Houston is coming to me about her million song of a million or something. I don't know about that. I'll come back to that if necessary. I don't know what it is about that, and I can't do the research on it right now. My fingertips, I'm driving. But I think, why is Spirit want me? Why are you talking about Whitney Houston, Spirit? I'm not sure. I know Whitney Houston had the ability to go in on both sides. I'm sure she was able to go through both sides to determine what was what. But I don't know that, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, as I was saying, so the borders is all about being able to cross borders and go into the darkness and come out. And so I was saying, before I was interrupted by Whitney Houston, I was saying how it's important to be able to go into, to pull the darkness, to pull other people out. And you have to recognize that there is both light and dark in all of us. And then I think beyond duality is oneness, because you realize we're one. The light side of me and the darkness side of me is one. You can't see one without seeing the other. You'd have to see both of them, and we call that also operating out of your shadow side, operating out of your dark side. So and so as we grow, we have our North Node and who it is we are called to be. And this is why you need to know a little bit of astrology. Because your North Node is who you are called and created to be in this world, and then your South Node is usually the opposite. It's the shadow side. It's the side that you operate out of before you are healed, before in particular areas. And a lot of times when you're looking at things, you look at the North Node and the South Node, because if depending on what frequency you're vibrating at, it will determine as to whether or not you're operating out of your North Node. And when you begin to operate out of your North Node, you come to realize that, okay, this is who I'm called and created to be. And then my South Node is what I've been doing all along. But the thing is to understand the balance in between them, because they're both in us. The North Node and the South Node is all in us. It's just a matter of which one are you going to choose to operate out of, but not negating either of them. Because for some people who are just overly nice and they just allow, what's up with this street? They must have been tearing it up or something. And so they allow people to just step all over them. And that was me for a long time. I would just allow people to be who they wanted to be in front of me, and I would just love them unconditionally and just accept people for who they were. I saw who they are, I saw who they could be, but I would also just allow them that and just put up with it. And then when I was mistreated, used, or abused by them, I kind of, just let it, pass a lot of the times, a lot before I would put my foot down. But it's not like that. You are not supposed to allow that at all. Like, don't allow it. Not even for a moment. Don't allow people to misuse and abuse you and mishandle you, and then you just accept it and just be like, oh, whatever. No. You have to learn how to stand up for yourself, and that's beginning to operate out of the south out of your South Node, your dark side. Just being balanced and knowing that, look, do what you got to do to be like the whole 10 toes down, like stand in my ground. You're not, no, you're not getting over on me. You're not going to do this to me. I'm not accepting this. No, you're not going to treat me like this. And so it is hard, because as women, a lot of us who have been hurt, it's like we have learned to operate out of the South Node, which means we just hardcore, defensive, not letting anything go. But the North Node is knowing when and what to let go. You know, when and who and what, and sometimes still doing it in a nice way that just says like, yeah, I'm sweet, I'm humble, I'm loving and kind, but I'm also not gonna allow you to step all over me and use me, mistreat me, and abuse me. And we say that with such a sweet and loving, stance. I am who I am, but you're not gonna use me. No, you're not, sweetie. You're not gonna use me. You're not gonna abuse me. No, you're not. Okay, and so that's just how it is. Now let's see. So you've come to learn to balance things out. North Node, South Node. The light and the dark. Knowing when to be sweet and nice and open and vulnerable and trusting. And that's that. So yeah, basically, but understanding which is basically saying what's the motive and the intent. And then when you desire to know people's motives and intents, you can always ask the Most High, show me their heart's desire, show me their motive and their intent, show me the reason why they're saying or doing what it is they're doing. And surely Most High will show you the motive and intents of a man. Why are they doing this? I'm going to show you. Ta-da. And he will show you this is why they're doing it. And so that's up to you if you want to keep going after you've been told. Because my thing is, once I'm told, hey, I just love this view, embrace this view. Bars. I have to check that out. Bars. And so, in determining and finding out which is which, that's something you have to do. You have to figure out why these people are saying and doing what they're doing. And most of the time, if you have to question this, it's most likely a problem. It's most likely a problem. But especially when you have been starting to do some work and you're starting to heal and stuff, and you realize, okay, wait a second. Sometimes, because I've had an instance where sometimes people question me because they're looking at their unhealed self and say this is too good to be true. And just because it's too good to be true doesn't mean that it isn't true. It's a lot of things that are too good to be true, but not everything is too good to be true. Okay, it's not everything, but you have got to get yourself to a place where you understand the difference in the two, and are able at any given moment in time to decipher it. Wow, I wanted to make that right turn back there. Jeez, that looked like whoa. That looked like whoa. Let me turn down the next. Whoa. I want to see what that's all about back over here. That looked like a whole hill. These people are living on over here. I didn't do my Sunday drive, so I'm doing my Monday. It's actually a Monday drive. Get up, get dressed, and go out and look. Oh, it's closed off over here. I wonder if it's flooded or something. I wonder why. Slow area. I guess I'm not turning. Road closed. Light traffic only. I wonder if I can make a U-turn. Checking out. Scenic. What is the freak that I just drive up? Do not enter. Oh, East Point. Oh. Entrance. Do it's just getting to know motives, intents, discerning. Do not keep your heart guarded and closed to what it is you were called and created to be and to do, because in doing that you block out your living your most. I knew there's some water over here. Is that water? Can I see water over there? East Point. I wonder what this is. It must be some kind of but it's got a nice apartment complex. This is some sort of a blue apartment complex. And let me I don't like high-rise buildings and stuff like this, but this is a huge building and it's overlooking some water. I like that. But it's older. One thing I don't like is older models. Older construction. There you go. I don't like older construction. I'm not interested in that. Because it's just not what I'm interested in. So, get to know what it is that's real for you. Oh, scenic overlook. I wonder how I can do Mount Mitchell scenic overlook. Welcome to the Monmouth Park system. Well, look at here, look at here. Look what your girl found. Look what your girl stumbled across. Cheeky. What is this? I don't know what I'm just. I don't know what I'm about to go look at. Look, I'm not going to do that, so let me go do this. I done found something. Look at here. See how the spirit will get you right to where you need to be. All you gotta do is follow your gut. Follow the unctioning. Follow desires. Sometimes our innate desires, the thing you desire, is the thing that's actually calling for you, and you will find out and learn something from it if you dare to go further. Accessible vehicles. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Y'all. Look what I stumbled across. Look at this. Look at this. It is bright. Look at y'all up here messing. Oh my God. Look at it. Wow, look at this view. It says the scenic overlook.